Kev, there was an article in GQ that I know you get your subscription also. Um, so you
Yeah,
can.
because there's nothing I like more than life than looking at people in clothing that would never that they stop at 42 chests.
Yeah, no goon size.
No, no good size.
Um, but there's the issue is about masculinity, modern day masculinity, and maybe how it differs throughout the years. And I was wondering where you stood on some of this. Um, I'm going to go through a few items here. Um, 28% of men, and these are only men polled here, 28% of men are comfortable seeing two men kiss,
What do you mean
which
by comfortable?
that's how they asked it. Are you comfortable watching two men kiss? And the number doesn't surprise me at 28.
28% are comfortable with
Are
it.
comfortable seeing that. I wonder what the number would be seeing two women kiss. I don't have that data, but would it be close to 100?
Yeah,
I'm thinking, right?
yeah.
68% would be comfortable voting for a female president. The number in 2019, that's only 6 years ago, was 74. So it's dropped actually 6 percentage points in the last 6 years.
I blame Hillary.
But 2019, when was Hillary on the ticket? 2016.
16.
Yeah. 76% would be comfortable with a female boss, though. So actually, more would prefer to work for a female than have
You
female.
know what? Like I look at some of the countries that have female leaders. Like I think New Zealand was one of the ones that you remember when they had like a mass shooting in New Zealand, and I mean like the next day she got rid of fucking assault weapons. You know,
Yeah, I do remember that
like
actually.
the
Yeah,
difference between having mom run the house.
true that. Speaking of which, 58% of men, this was high, I thought, would be happy as a stay at home dad. More
Oh
than
fuck!
half the male
Shit, I
population.
think it'd be 70. There's a
Really?
bunch of lying motherfuckers out there. If we're so fucking lazy, come on, man. Until until they fucking did it for a fucking week, then they'd be like, "Holy fuck!"
But you
So
don't
I'll
think.
never forget the first time I had to watch Tristan. My wife finally, after fucking 6 7 weeks, went to get her hair done. Her fucking roots were fucking rotten. We were down here, and I put him on the bed in the other room in the master, and we had paid like stupid money to have the fucking. It was like a wrestling mat with carpet on it in that room. It was the only room that had carpeting, and because we knew he would be in there because his playpen was in there and everything else, and I put the fucking pillows around him and everything else, and I was sitting in there watching a ball game, and I just hear this. I go in there and I look in the middle of the bed like, what the fuck? There's no child. He has fallen
Yeah.
between the wall and the bed, and I'm just like, fuck. So I pick him up and I bring him in here. Then Tamara comes home. Everything goes smooth. Oh, yeah, fine, honey.
No problem.
I'm thinking like, fuck.
I remember the first time one of my kids fell off the bed too, and it's like I threw her up on the bed, and Nicole's like, "It's just you okay? What's wrong?" I said, "I don't know. I think we just got to look at it for a little while." And we looked. She was crying, but everything was moving. Like the fingers were going, the legs were going, toes were going. Nothing was like flopping, dangling. There was no bone sticking out. That's just good.
I remember as a
Probably didn't feel
kid,
good, but
I remember as a kid being on the top bunk and fucking rolling like in my sleep, rolling off of
Oh,
it onto the hardwood floor.
oh,
I mean, fuck.
that's like the bump I took a couple of years ago. Hardwood. That's no joke.
Yeah, I remember that. I didn't realize later on that we actually my brother made reference that fucking you took a Foley bump the
That is
next morning.
so hell in the cell of you. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So,
Kev, in the
but
past 5 years, this is what men have done. Tell me if any of these numbers surprise you. 52%. This one's going to surprise you. 52% have lifted weights.
I'm surprised it's that low,
Right.
but then
50,
again, when I walk through the airport and see all the fucking fat bodies, I'm surprised it's 50.
50% have taken supplements. 46% have used moisturizer.
Oh,
28% have had their teeth whitened. Now, let me just take these top four. Is it a check for Mr. Nash for all of these? Lifted weights, obviously. Supplements, yes.
yes,
Moisturizer, I'm
yes.
sure.
I
Beef
haven't had
tallow.
my teeth whitened.
You have not done the teeth whitening?
No.
Okay. 12% practice martial arts. 6% have taken hair growth medication. 5%, can't believe this, have taken Ozempic or a GLP-1. Same number, 5%, have taken testosterone.
5%'s all?
Yeah, 5% for the GLP drugs and
So
5%
I
for test.
take it's from a company called Keeps. And
I
I
did
take
their hair stuff for a
it's-
while.
yeah, I do Keeps and it makes you keep the hair that you have.
Right.
And I did that. I started that like fuck. Like when it first came out. It's been over 10 years
Yeah.
and I haven't lost any hair.
I did it a long time ago when I had the SAG insurance and SAG covered it. So I was using it. Then they stopped covering it, and it was astronomical back then. It was like $300 a month, $200 a month. So I couldn't do it. And then now it's much more affordable with companies like Keeps and whatnot. But
Yeah.
Keeps, they didn't have an oral minoxidil paired with it.
I take the one that starts with an F.
Finasteride, you take.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
take that.
yeah.
Which you're not supposed to take with Xanax, but I've proven them wrong.
You're hairy and calm.
Yes.
2% of men, the last item, 2% have taken steroids.
Testosterone or steroids?
No, it's two separate ones. 5% testosterone, 2% steroids.
Wow, that's 2% taking roids is when TRTs just seems like the fucking kind of the. I'm surprised less. It's less than 5% on, but not really because I just talked to one of my best friends last night, and like he's having prostate problems. I'm like, "Are you on TRT?" He's like, "No." I'm like, you know what andropause is?" And he's like, "What?" I said, "Like women go into menopause, men go into andropause." I said, "So you stop producing testosterone, start producing estrogen. Estrogen, what does estrogen do? Estrogen's going to attack your sex organs. What's your prostate? A sex organ. You have prostate problems, that might be fucking someplace to
Right.
look. Send the arson fucking squad to look at."
Compared to 5 years ago, what are you doing more often or less often? 19% of men
Jerking off
are having
less.
more sex.
Ah, more sex.
33% having less. 18% more betting on sports today compared to 5 years ago. I think it's the availability of all the apps. That's a
See,
no-brainer.
I'm off on all these.
27% more reading, which surprises me because 5 years ago it was COVID.
Yeah.
13% more using derogatory language. We were more polite as a man 5 years ago, Kevin, somehow. I feel like that does not apply to anyone in this room right now.
No, I've been motherfuckering since I don't know since I came out of the chute.
34% less alcohol drinking.
I agree with it. Absolutely.
Is that, you think that's because of the THC availability?
No, that's because there's. It's like it's the opposite of the cholesterol. So like in the 70s, your cholesterol could be like 300, then it could be like 250. Now it's like 200 or 150, and they just keep the medical professions just keep dropping the numbers, so you have to increase medication because the only way you can get those numbers is to be on statin drugs. So the world's on statin drugs now, and but it used to be that it was common that wine was good for your heart. So a glass or two of wine every night was now like zero alcohol is the new standard for.
I'm seeing more and more coming up on my feed where the last statistic I saw, and I don't remember who it was, and I didn't vet the reliability of this, but it was a doctor talking on Instagram, said that anything more than 2 alcoholic drinks a week increases your cancer chances by like hundreds of percent. Like, it was staggering.
I heard if you put your cigarette butts out in the fucking two drinks, that really fucking rockets it.
For lung cancer. Yeah. Esophageal cancer. That's true. All right. Last one I'm going to give you here. What sports are men watching today? What's the top
And
organization being watched?
NFL.
Correct. 80%. 80% of men. That's an astounding number, by the way. 80% of men watch NFL. What's second?
Baseball.
It's third.
Is basketball second?
Yeah. NBA is second. 66% of men. Baseball, MLB, third at 51%. They lumped all college sports together at 43%. UFC 32, NHL 30, professional soccer
It was
20.
nice to watch hockey last night.
What'd you watch?
I watched the Panthers.
Florida. See, I still can't deal with Florida hockey teams, but I mean, good for them. But yeah, good team.
Yeah, they're good.
Tampa Bay was good
yeah.
for a while too.
And then the Penguins played last night.
It was always my favorite sport to attend live and to sit as close to the glass as I could. It is an experience. WNBA.
Unless you've got to explain to the person with you what
Offsides is or icing.
icing, or yeah, any of those things is just like, well, why isn't it icing now?
Because it's time to bite your hamburger.
Somebody in there's somebody in the fucking penalty box.
And rounding it out with WNBA, 19% of men watching that. And at the bottom, F1, that's Formula One, right? That's
Yeah.
racing. 14%. That was the one I was shocked at the most. Because, I mean, up here, yes, I get it. But this is a big country, and
I
think it's very popular, but
so is Formula One's higher than NASCAR?
see, NASCAR isn't on here. It just says F1.
Right. So I'm surprised that. I mean, if you would have told that 10 years ago, I guarantee you that NASCAR would have been in the top 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now Formula One's the racing to watch.